SR-71 Blackbird. In the shadow of the Cold War, the master of the skies was born, the world's fastest and highest-flying reconnaissance aircraft. Welcome to Story Pattern. In this video, we will witness the story of this legendary aircraft in aviation history, from its birth to its retirement. Lockheed's reconnaissance aircraft journey began with the U-2, developed for the CIA. However, when a U-2 was shot down by Soviet missiles in 1960, it made clear the urgent need for an aircraft that could fly faster, higher, and remain undetectable to radar. At this point, Lockheed's secret design team, Skunk, stepped in. Led by Kelly Johnson, the team launched a project known as Archangel. Born from this project, the A-12 was the first member of the Blackbird family. Designed for the CIA with a single-seat cockpit and exceptional performance, the A-12 made its first flight in 1962. However, shortly after, the U.S. Air Force requested a new version with greater fuel capacity, a two-seat crew, and advanced reconnaissance sensors. Thus, the legend of the skies, the SR-71, was born. At the heart of the SR-71's creation stood Kelly Johnson, a visionary engineer whose groundbreaking designs shaped the course of aviation history. With numerous iconic aircraft to his name, Johnson was the mastermind who turned the dream of the Blackbird into reality. Under his leadership, some of the most innovative aircraft of their time were created, including the P-38 Lightning, the F-104 Starfighter, and the U-2. Kelly Johnson's greatest achievement was turning a project once deemed impossible by conventional methods into reality. Under his leadership, Skunk created, in just a few years, the fastest and highest-flying aircraft the world had ever seen. The design of the SR-71 Blackbird pushed the boundaries of aerodynamics and materials engineering to enable flight at Mach 3 speeds and altitudes of 26,000 meters. 85% of its airframe was constructed from titanium alloy, capable of withstanding extreme temperatures. Its long, slender fuselage was combined with sharp chine lines that not only reduced radar signature, but also enhanced aerodynamic efficiency. The wings, designed with a low sweep angle, provided stability at high speeds while generating sufficient lift at lower speeds. To accommodate the expanding fuselage panels, the fuel tanks would leak while on the ground, but as the aircraft heated and expanded in flight, the panels sealed tightly. Transition zones between the engines and the fuselage were equipped with sophisticated air intake systems that managed airflow at supersonic speeds. Together, these innovations made the Blackbird the fastest operational reconnaissance aircraft in history. The SR-71 Blackbird was a massive reconnaissance aircraft, measuring 32.7 meters in length, with a wingspan of 16.9 meters and a height of 3.3 meters. Its empty weight exceeded 30 tons, and when fully loaded, it could reach up to 77 tons. Powered by Pratt & Whitney J58 turbojet engines, it was capable of speeds beyond Mach 3.3, equivalent to roughly 3,500 kilometers per hour. Its operational ceiling exceeded 26,000 meters, nearly twice the altitude of commercial airliners. Despite its extremely high fuel consumption, when equipped with its specialized JP7 fuel, the Blackbird had a range of approximately 5,400 kilometers. These extraordinary figures made the Blackbird not only the most remarkable aircraft of its era, but also one of the greatest engineering achievements in the history of aviation. The SR-71 Blackbird was designed to operate with a two-person crew. In the front cockpit sat the pilot, responsible for controlling the aircraft, while in the rear cockpit was the RSO, Reconnaissance Systems Officer, who managed all reconnaissance systems. As the pilot handled the aircraft's high speed and high altitude maneuvers, the RSO gathered intelligence through radar, cameras, and sensors. Both crew members wore specially designed pressurized flight suits, remarkably similar to those used by astronauts, to survive the extreme conditions of speed and altitude. Through this seamless teamwork, the Blackbird was able to successfully carry out some of the most challenging missions in the world. The SR-71 Blackbird drew its power from Pratt & Whitney J58 turbojet engines, each capable of producing 32,500 pounds of thrust. Unlike conventional turbojets, these were among the rare engines designed to operate continuously with afterburners engaged. At speeds beyond Mach 3, the J58s transitioned into a ramjet-like mode, with much of the incoming air bypassing the compressors and being directed straight into the afterburner. This allowed the engines to maintain efficiency at extraordinary velocities. However, such power came with immense engineering challenges. The engine casings and exhaust sections had to be constructed from special alloys capable of withstanding extreme heat. The J58 was the very heart of the Blackbird, the engine that made its title as the fastest aircraft in the world possible. To achieve its extraordinary speeds and altitudes, the SR-71 relied on a specially developed fuel called JP7. Thanks to its low volatility, this fuel would not ignite spontaneously even at extreme temperatures, ensuring engine safety during flights above Mach 3. However, JP7 was so stable that it could not be ignited under normal conditions and required a chemical igniter known as triethylborane TEB. Another distinctive feature of the SR-71 was that it constantly leaked fuel while on the ground. This was because the airframe was designed to expand at high speeds, sealing the fuel tanks in flight. Consequently, shortly after takeoff, the Blackbird had to be refueled mid-air by KC-135Q tanker aircraft. Without this refueling, the SR-71 could not reach its operational range. The SR-71 Blackbird, boasting some of the most impressive performance figures in aviation history, set numerous records. On a flight conducted on July 28, 1976, it achieved a speed of 3,529 kilometers per hour, earning the title of the fastest manned aircraft in the world. On that same flight, it also set a record for highest altitude in level flight at 25,929 meters, marking an unparalleled achievement in its class. The SR-71's maximum operational altitude exceeded 26,000 meters, and it could reach speeds of Mach 3.3. This combination of speed and altitude made it the fastest and highest-flying reconnaissance aircraft of its time. Throughout its history, no SR-71 was ever shot down. Its incredible speed and altitude made it untouchable by enemy air defenses and missiles. The SR-71 Blackbird was officially retired in 1998. Several key factors influenced this decision. First, the aircraft's maintenance and operational costs were extremely high, with a single hour of flight costing millions of dollars. Second, satellite technology and unmanned aerial vehicles offered more economical and safer alternatives for intelligence-gathering missions. Third, much of the specialized equipment and production lines used in the A-12 and SR-71 programs were no longer active, making spare parts increasingly difficult to obtain. During its retirement, some SR-71s were delivered to museums, while others were used for testing or had their components transferred to research projects. Thus, despite its technical excellence, the world's fastest and highest-flying reconnaissance aircraft faded from operational use. Thank you for watching this video. Every subscriber means a lot and helps me create more content on science, technology, history, and art. So please subscribe, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button.